This is so weird to be posting a video on YouTube. It has been well over 4 years. I'm specifically doing my eyeball just because that is the content that I did 4 years ago. So I feel like if you guys are going to remember who I am that you subscribe to, this might kind of help. But I thought that I would get back into YouTube. I've been doing TikTok for a couple months now, and I really just miss the long tutorial-based content that I did on YouTube. I know it's not everybody's like preference these days, but I just really miss doing it, and I kind of wanted to jump in with this look specifically. I had just done this one on my TikTok and you guys seem to really like it, so I thought that would be a good transition to my YouTube. So we're doing the old school up close eye makeup tutorial, and then going forward I'm down to do any type of makeup content, so just let me know what you want to see. But I'm going to jump into the video. If you guys want a little bit more of an explanation of where I've been, I did discuss it in the video, but I hope you guys enjoy the video. Okay, so I am so out of practice with this, so if this is not like it used to be, then just bear with me. So I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty Eye Primer, and I'm just going to apply that all over just to prevent my eyeshadows from creasing and moving around throughout the day. Next, I'm just going in with my Melt Cosmetics eyeliner in the shade Onyx as a really dark base for the black eyeshadow. So while I'm applying this, I guess I can just kind of update you over the past 4 years. I didn't quit YouTube for any reason other than the fact that I was getting a new job, and at the time it was a conflict of interest, and I really wanted to focus more on my real life job and career rather than doing YouTube videos, so I just decided to quit. Plus I had kind of lost the passion for it anyway, so it kind of just worked out in my favor. But that's really what I've done the past few years. I had another baby, I got married, I moved, I've, worked up within my job, so it was all a good decision. But within the past several months, I have gotten into YouTube. I think I might have said YouTube, but TikTok. So I have been getting into TikTok, and I have wanted to get into YouTube just because I miss the longer form explaining type of content. So here we are. So before that dries, I'm going in with a synthetic brush to start to diffuse those edges. You want to do this definitely one eye at a time, or it will dry and will be very hard to blend out. I also don't have the same camera that I used to have, so this one is not as high quality, not as nice as my last one. If it's something that I actually like get back into and want to make it a focus again, then I'll upgrade my camera again, but in the meantime, this one will have to do. My brush just got a little bit too dirty, so I'm going in with a different one to fade that out. I don't want this to be perfect, I just want it to be blended enough to where the eyeshadows can kind of cover up the blotchiness. So for the eyeshadows, I'm going to go in with this Jaclyn Cosmetics Dear Mom palette. They do still have this palette, it's just not the Mother's Day edition. But I'm going to take the shade Buddy right here, and I'm going to use that to start blending out that black liner. So I'm first taking that shade and kind of patting it into the crease where the kind of blotchiness starts. And then once I have that fully patted, I'm going to start blending it out. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I've been doing with my life. So I've still been doing makeup, I still work in the industry, I just haven't been doing like social media content. But it's something that I've been wanting to get back into because I'm at the point in my life that I miss doing this, because my in-person job, although it's still like in the field, I'm not teaching and stuff like I used to, which I kind of miss sometimes. So I'm going to attempt to see the YouTube world again. I know this isn't the type of content that people like to see, but it's something that I like to do, so I don't know. I guess we'll just see how it kind of plays out. But either way, it's something that I enjoy, so it's probably something I'm going to do. Next, I'm going to take the shade Farm Girl, which is more brown. I'm just using this to fade out the gray. I just feel like it blends better into my skin tone when I have the gray broken up by a brown. So when I did YouTube in the past, this right here was basically my content. I wasn't actually talking in the videos though, I just always did a voiceover. They were short, simple, to the point, and just tutorial based on like eye looks. I will probably focus more on like full face looks and eye looks, not just a close-up of my eye. It's just, I don't know, I used to only like doing eye makeup, and now I really like doing everything. So I'm just going in and blending so you can see that gradient is starting to form. I'm going in with a little bit more of that brown and taking it a little bit higher up on that outer corner because I do have a lot of crease space naturally. I also want to bring up this dark gray a little bit, so I'm going to do that. So I'm just looking forward at the camera to kind of see where that darker color sits and see if I want to take it up higher. But I figured for the sake of my first video in over 4 years that I would do the same type of content that I used to do, just for those of you that are still subscribed and you're like, who the hell is this lady? But then going forward, I'm just going to switch it up to different makeup content. Still, like I said, tutorial based. It's just something that I've always enjoyed doing. Now I'm going in with the shade Because I Said So, which is just the matte black, and I'm going to pack that all over where I put that gel liner, and you can just see that liner makes this really dark and smoky. And I've only used this palette a couple times, but it really doesn't have that much fallout considering I'm using the darker shades in the palette. So to get a sharper line right here, I'm just going to take my brush and just kind of press that in like that. I'm sorry if I'm out of view. And then with that brush I used for the shade Buddy and no additional product, I'm just going to start fading that out. I haven't done my lower concealer or anything, so I can easily clean this up if I have to. I'm just fully blending that out. And I'm going a little bit more in with that brown to fade that out. It's just a matter of going back and forth between your products and your shades and your brushes and all that stuff. So now with a makeup wipe, I'm just going to clean up right here where it's a little bit choppy. I don't want a super defined line, so I'm just going right under just to clean up anything. But if I go up a little bit higher, then you're going to get that really crisp line. If you like that, you can do that. But I don't want to do that today. So I'm just going to do my under eye concealer, and then we'll come back and do the lower lash line together. Now for the lower lash line, I'm just taking the shade Farm Girl, which was that brown, and I'm buffing it onto the lower lash line. Nothing has changed in the past few years. I still like a super smoky lower lash line, and I'm going to connect it to the upper lid as well. And now with the shade Buddy, which was that darker gray, I'm going to put that right at the lower lash line with a pencil brush. And same thing, I'm going to connect it to that upper lid area. And I'm just going back in with that previous brush to buff that out, make sure it's nice and diffused. You want this very smoky on the lower lash line. And now with a short shader brush, I'm taking the matte black and I'm going right at the lash line and making sure it connects on that outer corner. I'm going to go all the way to the inner corner. I'm just going to keep building that up until it is nice and dark. And now I'm just dipping back into that pencil brush to buff that out. The autofocus on this camera is not as great as my old one. So what's really going to make this pop is the green waterline. This is the LA Girl Shockwave green liner in the shade Gotcha. So I'm going to go in and really layer this up. I'm probably going to do about 5 layers of it because I want it to be super, super pigmented. So I'm going to do that off camera. Okay, the next thing I did in my original TikTok video is I took the Urban Decay eyeshadow stick in the shade Freak, which is also a green, and I really, this will focus, put that on my inner corner. So I'm just doing a thin layer of this because when I originally did it, it didn't pop as much as I wanted to, so I did go in with some eyeshadow over it. I'm kind of connecting that to that waterline as well. But I'm just going to do 1 layer of that. So the eyeshadows that I used in my TikTok were these 2 right here. I just packed them on. This is that Morphe Lisa Frank palette that came out a while ago, and it is back out again. But I just took those 2, mixed them together, and packed that on top of the inner corner. I'm just going in with a pencil brush to really pack that on. And I'm not really like blending out the edges of this. Like I do want it to be a pretty harsh, big chunk of green. And for my brow bone right here, I did just take my face highlighter just to kind of brighten the brow bone since the entire look is so dark. And then I'm just going to pop on some lashes and then I will show you the completed look. And here is that entire look completed. I think it's like the perfect dark smoky eye for Halloween. You can obviously change out these colors right here for any color that you want, but I just felt like the green really channeled Halloween. I'm also sorry I keep looking over here. I'm just not used to this camera and it doesn't focus, so I'm trying to make sure that I'm in focus. But yeah, if you wanted to see like a full face with this eye look, it is on my TikTok already. I'll have that in the description bar. But let me know what type of content you want to see. Like I said, I'm not just going to do the up close eye looks. I will still do them, but I will do like full face and stuff as well. But just let me know what you guys want to see and I will see you in my next video.